Founders District TV, Debbie Marie and Mike Masotto, just coming back from our Orlando convention. Mike, how did you enjoy your experience there?
Oh, that was just amazing. Facilities and so forth were just wonderful. They took absolute care of us. It was a very good experience, and I'm very glad to have been there.
Okay. Now, you represented Founders District.
The Founders District, that's correct.
For the International Speech Contest,
That
right?
is correct.
Okay. How was the competition?
Competition was tough. Again, an amazing experience. The level of speakers at the semifinals was something that I had never experienced before. All fine quality men and women, and all very good speakers. All very good speakers. This was a good experience to see that level and that dedication, hearing some of them talk about how many times they've spoken and how far they had to drive in order to speak at a club. Very dedicated individuals. So I feel honored to be part of the 86 semifinalists.
Right.
That's awesome. So tell me, how was it like to prepare for the speech?
Well, the preparation was lengthy. It started at the winning of Founders District. Right after that, one of the senior members of my club said, "Mike, you need to get another speech." Huh? What's that? And we started preparing for that. He kind of told me what was happening. And as we got closer, and I dialed in the speech, I hired a coach, and I started speaking more and more. Ultimately, nearing the end, in the last 8 weeks prior to the speech, I was speaking at clubs every day, sometimes twice a day.
Wow.
And it was a very rigorous, I likened it to the Olympics, which were going on at that time.
Yeah.
And I likened it to that.
Now, which speech did you use for your semifinals contest?
The semifinal contest, I used a speech entitled "I Am a Phoenix," which was a rewrite from the speech that really prompted me to join Toastmasters in the first place.
Okay. Now, you said you had a second speech ready, right?
Oh, the second speech is ready, and that'll be an awesome speech for next year's competition, I promise you that.
You're looking forward to that?
Yes, and that speech, it's entitled "The Top Half." And the top half is a completely different look at a glass of wine. And many of us hear is the glass half full, glass half empty, and all of that stuff that people talk about. And I take all of that off the table, and I give people a fresh look. If I've gotten any comment that has been the same throughout delivering that speech, has been, "Mike, that is a fresh look at positive thinking." And they've never heard it explained in that way.
Right.
And we'll talk about that.
That sounds really creative.
Oh, it was a fun speech to do. It was a very fun speech to do. I don't know what your timing is like. I don't know if you want me to deliver that or not. That was a fun speech to do. I would have liked to deliver that. I would have liked to deliver that on the big stage, because that's a winning speech on the big stage.
There's always next time.
Yeah.
Always next time.
So what were some of the lessons you learned, lessons you bring back from Orlando?
Probably the most resounding lesson that I brought back is the message needs to be absolutely clear. Many of us are in Toastmasters, and we get the chance to speak, and we talk and we talk and we talk, and sometimes we get on and on and on about what it is we want to say without the refining of the speech. And Lance Miller says it best. He says, you've got to refine your message down to a handful of words. And if you can get it down to a handful of words, then you've got it. And that is probably the loudest message that I brought back, or loudest lesson that I brought back.
Okay.
So for all those aspiring Toastmasters out there who want to be able to be in your position next year, what kind of tips would you give them?
Well, there's two. Know right off the bat when your semifinal is. The I'm a Phoenix speech was actually written for a morning audience. I'm delivering it at 8:30 in the evening to a very tired audience. It's, to be honest with you, it's not surprising that it didn't get first place, although it should have. But the tip that I would bring is to understand when you're going to speak, so that you can then plan the quantity of humor. Early in the day, you can get away with a lot of information and little humor. Late in the evening, you need lots and lots of humor, and you can give your message very simply. But to answer your question as far as what I can give to the audience, and this will be a title of another speech that's coming up. We've got to be able to get our message down so simple that a 5-year-old could quote your message to his mother, and make her cry. If your message is that simple, you've got a winning speech.
So, Michael Masotto, what is next for you?
Well, that's a good question, Jamal. Next is clearly going to be Cincinnati, Ohio on the 24th of August next year, because that's the next convention. I'd like to see you there. But really what's next for me, and I've set this as a goal for me in Toastmasters, is to do a CC every year, in addition to finishing a CL and finishing an advanced CC. But every year, getting those 10 speeches down and going through that cycle, that's my next step, is getting that CC done. And I would encourage every Toastmaster to make that a goal, to do one CC a year, 10 speeches. We can all get that done.
Thank you so much, Michael, for being here today with us. I'm sure all the audience and us have really enjoyed meeting with you today and learning about the convention as well. So thank you.
It was my pleasure to represent the Founders District at the International Convention. And thank you so much for having me. It was my honor.
So that's all we have for today. Thank you so much for joining Founders District TV.
Hey, Marie,
Yeah,
they're still here.
they are.
Hey, catch us next time at Founders District TV.
Ciao.